you found out the night before that you were going to be assigned to St. Faustina. What was going through your head the minute you found out?
So it got to the point where I was so confident that I was going to St. Faustina. Father David Michael didn't have anything direct, but he just really felt like it. He felt like he could read it, which Father Dat will deny this, I'm sure. But he just felt like he could tell it was going to be me, and he was kind of making jokes about it. And
I think the Vegas odds were on you.
Yeah, and so to me, it kind of made it stressful because you were hearing. So we had priest convocation at the end of May, and a lot of priests were told, "You're moving." They weren't told where they were going.
Oh.
So even though I felt good about St. Faustina, I started to get all this information like, oh, wow, so-and-so's going back to India, so that's going to be open, and so-and-so's being moved, and so-and-so's being moved. So what felt really clear was kind of becoming a little hazier.
Okay.
And I was like, man, maybe I'm not going there. And you kind of have doubts, but I definitely still had my money on St. Faustina. But I guess the feeling was, man, I'm going to be like disappointed if I don't go to St. Faustina at this point. I really kind of have like my heart set on it at this point, Every parish has positives. Every parish has cons, right? Some people give me a hard time. It's like, you went to a place that hasn't built their church yet, like, hey. But I was just so excited to be following Father David Michael. We'd already, we did that promo for the basketball game. We were already planning we did another YouTube video of him kind of like showing me the ropes.
That was hilarious.
We had already talked about all that stuff. And so we were like, yeah, I'm going there for sure, right? I mean, we had set in our calendar. So that video we filmed the Monday after my ordination.
Wow.
So I heard on Friday I was going to St. Faustina, and we had already blocked off in the calendar on Monday, we're going to shoot that. So that's how confident we were.
Was he your first text or your first message?
I think so. I think he was on a group. I think I was on a group text with Father Joseph, Father Chad, Father Rick, and Father David Michael. I think so, just to make sure that it got out to all of them. And then I texted a couple other groups of priests.
And then I had texted you at one point, and I wasn't sure if it was public, so I didn't say anything to anyone yet until the actual ordination.
Yeah, it was so surreal because I didn't really know, because they told us like, you can announce it if you want, but you're so busy on Friday. So we had the rehearsals actually in the morning.
Okay.
But there's just so many little things you're trying to get in order because the weekend is going to be a whirlwind.
Yes.
And it's getting to the point where ordinations are like getting married.
It is a marriage.
But you don't have a spouse to help you, and people would judge you if you hired an ordination planner. So you don't really have that. And thank God. I mean, I really did have a lot of help. But there's just little things that I'm trying to set. I want to make sure that the Maniturgium is there at my ordination. I want to have a plan for getting it to my first Mass to get to my mom. That's the cloth where the oil comes. The stole that I'm going to hear my first confession so my dad can have it, because you want to make sure you have that, because the second you get ordained, someone could come up to you and say, Father, will you hear my confession? And you don't want to say, oh no, I don't have the meaningful stole that I'm going to give my dad, so I'm not going to hear your confession. So there's just so many little things that you're kind of planning through and little errands you're running that last day. The reception
and all of that stuff.
Yeah, you're worried about that kind of stuff. And so that day, you would have thought I would be shouting from the hilltops, I'm going to St. Faustina, I'm going to St. Faustina. But it was kind of like, okay, sweet, I'm going to St. Faustina. I mean, I didn't look through the packet. He gives you a packet that has like your agreement between your pastor and your parochial vicar and your pagella, like what your permissions you have as a priest. I didn't look through any of that stuff until like I got to St. Faustina. I mean, that's what a whirlwind everything was that weekend. So